This is a special presentation of Wfxr Sports. The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Martinsville Speedway tonight. It's the first ever Cup night race in the track's 73-year history. This is the Wfxr Sports Fastlane. Return to Martinsville.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm Jermaine Ferrell, and welcome to our special show. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll get you ready for the first night NASCAR Cup Series race at Martinsville. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Now, Ryan Blaney is on the pole for the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500 as the race will begin shortly after 7. Now, this historic night would not have been possible without the vision of track president Clay Campbell. In fact, his grandfather, H. Clay Earls, established Martinsville Speedway in 1947, a year before NASCAR existed. As you can expect, this is a special moment for Clay Campbell and his family. And recently, I caught up with Clay to talk about this special moment tonight.
Not quite what we had imagined when we first started talking about a night race, because no fans will be here. So that's the down part of it. But to finally run a Cup race at night, that'll be a first for us. We finished Cup races at night, but we haven't started one and run the whole thing. So that's pretty special. But you know, for the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500 to finally be here, a Wednesday night prime time, it's pretty special for everybody. I think this is the goal that we've had from day one when we put the lights up, although they were actually put here for an insurance policy in case we had a long day, rain delays or whatever. We wouldn't, when the sun went down, we wouldn't be done, and it worked for that purpose. But we knew eventually we'd run a night race, and it's going to happen Wednesday night, so we're excited about it. It's pretty special to know this place means so much to the competitors, and I think one of the reasons it does, well, several reasons. Number one, the history behind it. One of the original tracks on the NASCAR circuit, here when NASCAR was formed, actually here before NASCAR was formed. And like you say, you get a grandfather clock. I think it's the most cherished trophy in all of motorsports. And you can look back in time and history, the different drivers that have won. I remember the jubilation in Victory Lane when Dale Earnhardt Jr. won his first race here. Very excited. Jeff Gordon, when he won his last race here, again, it was just jubilation off the charts. So it means a lot to us that this place means so much to the sport, to the drivers, and always has, and in my opinion, always will.
Being the fact that this track has been in your family since day one,
Mm-hmm.
What would you think, like your father, your grandfather would think about this moment of a night race?
He would be very proud to see the evolution of Martinsville Speedway. And while he was alive, everything, you know, all the money put back into the facility to build it, to grow it, to make it better. He realized the importance of our fans, and he always felt if a man puts down $10 of his hard-earned money, you need to give him $12 back. And that's been our philosophy, and we do the same thing now. But the loyal fans of this place, they've really meant a lot. They're the reason you see everything that you see here. But it's been a work in progress. We'll never be finished. You can look around now, come back months from now, you'll see something different. That's the way we operate. We don't rest on our laurels of being the oldest track on the circuit, been around for a long time. We got to keep making the place better.
Now, Martinsville Speedway's Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500 historic night race was supposed to take place a month ago, but because of the coronavirus pandemic, it was moved to tonight. And Wfxr Sports' David de Guzman takes a look at the unique start to a race week that's poised to be unlike any other.
Instead of heading straight to the track, a fleet of Mack trucks, including the Cup Series hauler, made a pit stop at Sova Health in Martinsville to say thank you.
Our drivers are considered brave and they're heroes. These people that work at the hospital, they're brave and they're heroes. What they do for the community everywhere, it's unreal that they put themselves in harm's way to treat people that come in this hospital with the virus, and they're a big part of our community. So my hat's off to them for what they do.
Seven-time Martinsville winner Rusty Wallace led the parade of haulers, bringing smiles underneath the masks of the hospital's nurses and doctors.
Blue Emu are the people that really said, you know, we really want to get involved in this and give back to these workers in these different communities. And since they're sponsoring this race, it was one of their ideas to come out here, and Clay Campbell And when I heard about it, I said, man, sign me up. I'm excited about this.
And this salute to healthcare workers here at Martinsville, just kicking off what should be a historic week as Martinsville Speedway hosts the first real sporting event here in Virginia since the pandemic started.
You know, for us to be the first professional sport back, that says a lot for all the people that put so much work into it to adhere to local, state, federal, CDC guidelines to make sure we can do these things safely and keep our competitors safe.
And while fans won't be part of the first NASCAR Cup race under the lights at Martinsville, those watching at home should expect quite the show.
Man, when I heard they're going to race under the lights of Martinsville, the first thing I thought was, I wish I was still racing. I wanted to be in that car driving at night. We don't get to see all these sparks and all this fire coming out of the exhaust pipes and stuff on a day race. At night, holy smokes, it's going to look really wild at night.
The countdown to the green flag, now down to its final hours. Local in Martinsville, David DeGuzman, WFXR Sports.
Now, as David mentioned, NASCAR fans won't be allowed to attend tonight's race, but the sports impact will surely be felt by Henry County residents the next day. The Joey Logano Foundation, the NASCAR Foundation, and Elevation Outreach are partnering to bring a convoy of hope to Martinsville with a goal of providing 40,000 pounds of food and supplies to approximately 1,000 families during a drive-through distribution at NASCAR's oldest track tomorrow morning. The effort is similar to the one conducted at Darlington Raceway in May.
We found a great way to impact and help the people that surround the racetracks and our people, our fans, and it's been a great success so far. And like I said, that's just one of the many things that we've done, but definitely probably one of them that touches closest to home for me, as a racer and going to these racetracks and seeing it firsthand.
Now, Bubba Wallace, NASCAR's only African-American driver in the Cup Series, has been in the spotlight on race issues whether he wants to be or not. First for the Kyle Larson racial slur controversy, and now for the Black Lives Matter movement following the death of George Floyd. Now, Wallace, you see here, he wore the I Can't Breathe shirt before the race on Sunday. Now, yesterday, Wallace and the Richard Petty Motorsports team announced that Wallace will drive a special Black Lives Matter car at Martinsville tonight. His goal is to promote a positive conversation about racism.
With this statement that we have right here that we're about to make, with running this race car, being on live television on Fox, I think it's going to speak volumes to, what I stand for, but also what the initiative that NASCAR, the whole sport, is trying to push.
Now, coming up on our WFXR Sports Fastlane special, we check in on a pair of drivers excited about taking part in tonight's race. Stick and stay, please.
Time to get back on the road. This is the WFXR Sports Fastlane. Return to Martinsville.
And welcome back to our WFXR Sports Fastlane special, return to the Martinsville Speedway. Now, Martinsville holds a special place in the heart of one Virginia native who will be making his Cup Series debut at the Paperclip tonight. My man, 100 grand down at the Martinsville Speedway. David DeGuzman in the house, looking nice out there. And Dave, you the man, 100 grand, take it away.
Jermaine, while Quint Houff is a son of the Shenandoah Valley, Southwest Virginia has played a huge role in his life. He started out competing at late model races in South Boston while falling in love with the sport of NASCAR here in Martinsville. 2020 is his first full year as a Cup Series driver, but because of the pandemic, he's actually spent more time in front of his phone taking TikTok videos than he's spent behind the wheel.
Hey everybody, I know we're all at home stuck in quarantine, so ask, how do you stay fit? Well, that's pretty simple. Just go outside and find things to do.
It's safe to say Quinn Houff is ready to get back inside a car after spending 2 months at home in Stanton, Virginia.
It's kind of given us a lot of extra downtime that we didn't expect, especially this early in the season. But me and my wife are trying to take advantage of it.
Houff was in the midst of his rookie season in the NASCAR Cup Series, driving for Starcom Racing when the sport shut down because of COVID-19.
The Cup has been a dream come true by any means, to race any racing Cup, much less be a full-time driver this season and have another season lined up for next year as well. It's been an adjustment. The Cup races obviously are a lot longer, the talent's a lot higher, and the pace of the race is a lot faster. So It's been a challenge up front, and learning a new team this year has provided its own challenges.
The 22-year-old hopes the time away from the track can iron out some of the wrinkles of his first year. Half got some driving practice in thanks to a simulator installed in his basement by the Richmond-based company SimSeats.
I've never been a guy that's been interested in that sort of, online racing or sim racing. This thing moves with every bump, with every action, and it's made me a believer, especially during a quarantine.
Since NASCAR's return, Half has finished in the top 30 at Darlington and Bristol, and Hall of Famer Rusty Wallace can see the potential in the Virginia native.
Well, Quinn's doing just a great job doing what he's got to do, getting laps and getting reps. And you're not going to win and run up front unless you get a lot of laps on the racetrack and make a lot of mistakes so you know what not to do again.
Martinsville holds many memories for Half, and he's excited to be on the other side of the fence to be part of history.
There's nothing better than a night short track race. That's what I grew up doing, and I grew up loved watching it. And to be able to take that to Martinsville now and them having installed lights is very, very cool. It's the first place I ever even watched a cup race live for myself.
Of course, Quinn isn't the only Virginia native set to take the track here in Martinsville. This year's Daytona 500 winner, Denny Hamlin, is a Chesterfield product. He's on the verge of his 40th career Cup Series win. And remember, he was involved in that post-race brawl with Joey Logano back in the fall. He is a 5-time winner here at the Paperclip, but hasn't found victory lane since 2015. He'll start 12th tonight. Jermaine?
David, I tell you, that was I would probably call it more of a pillow fight, but it was a fight. But, in the category of fights, we'll take it. Anyway, great job, David, as always. Thank you so much. Now, we can't talk about Martinsville without mentioning it is the home track of Wood Brothers Racing. The Stewart, Virginia racing team is looking to take the number 21 car to victory lane. And WFXR Sports' Ryan Moy caught up with the driver of the number 21 car, Matt DiBenedetto.
You're headed to the Paperclip. Talk a little bit about racing in Martinsville.
Martinsville is probably one of my favorite racetracks. Well, short track racing is my favorite by far ever, so I get pretty excited for those. Martinsville is one of my favorite tracks to go to. And then this is actually going to be kind of a bucket list race for my whole career because we're racing Martinsville under the lights for the first time. So that's going to remind me of my old school Saturday night short track racing days, and Martinsville always puts on awesome racing because you get to lean on each other and, the mid-corner speeds are slow. It's just a cool racetrack. So this is going to be one of the ones I'm actually looking forward to most of my career.
And, talk a little bit about the fact that, there's another reason why this is pretty special because of who you're racing for as well. Just Stewart, Virginia. What's it been like being in that number 21 car with the Wood Brothers? You're racing with, that's like a legacy squad right there. What's it been like this season? And you're going to be putting that number 21 car on that track representing that Ford Mustang. What's that like?
Yeah, that makes it even more special. It is a home state race for the Wood Brothers, and driving the 21 car at a track like Martinsville and running the first race under the lights. It makes it all that much more special. So if you'd have told me as a kid I'd be able to drive the 21 car under the lights at Martinsville, I would have told you you're crazy. No way. So it's really special, and for the family, I really hope we can have a run at a track that I know means a lot to them as well.
And we're not done with the WFXR Sports Fastlane. 2 years ago, a NASCAR driver had a memorable moment at the Paperclip. That story is coming up on the other side.
Time to get back on the road. This is the WFXR Sports Fastlane. Return to Martinsville.
All right, folks, we're back with more WFXR Sports Fastlane, the Martinsville special. I'm Jermaine Ferrell. Now, winning at Martinsville is on the bucket list for any driver on the circuit. And WFXR Sports' Ryan Moy catches up with a driver that had one of those special winning moments at the Paperclip.
NASCAR drivers continue to win big at Martinsville Speedway. And for drivers like Clint Boyer, there's something about the Paperclip that makes each win special.
Clock isn't working, but every now and then, usually leading into Martinsville, I'll go up and fire that baby back off and just remind yourself of what it takes to win that place.
NASCAR driver Clint Boyer knows what it takes to win at Martinsville Speedway.
A track that means a lot to me. A track that you acquire a driving style for. You don't show up to Martinsville. Nobody in the history of the sport showing up to Martinsville and just sets the world on fire. So you just don't. You got to learn it. You got to appreciate it. You got to put in your time.
Back in 2018, Bowyer snapped a 190-race winless streak by winning the STP 500 on the short track at Martinsville. Not only was that his first win since 2012, it's something he'll never forget.
I finally got it. Finally got that clock and you know, punched that ticket. But I feel like because of that, it puts a level of confidence in me that I can go do it again.
Bowyer's win in 2018 was the 9th NASCAR Cup Series victory of his career, and he says there's just something special about winning at the paperclip.
You feel like you're a part of just an old school generational thing it's timeless. You know, it's just, whether you're a fan, whether you're a competitor, whether you're a fan sitting at home, you're just watching America at its finest when you go there.
As Martinsville Speedway approaches on the calendar, Bowyer will always remember his special moment on the short track.
My kids have never seen me win a race, you know, and Cash, I never broke down and cried on a racetrack. I did that day. I saw a kid come, he took off running out of him. I'm like, uh-oh, here they come. What's that? And I started crying, man. It got me, man. It was emotional.
Local in Martinsville, Ryan Moy, Wfxr Sports.
Thanks so much, Ryan. Up next, our racing insider, J.W. Martin, shares details on tonight's race. This is Wfxr Sports Fastlane return to the Martinsville Speedway.
Time to get back on the road. This is the Wfxr Sports Fastlane return to Martinsville.
All right, folks, welcome back to our Wfxr Sports Fastlane return to Martinsville Speedway special, and we appreciate you watching us during this time. Now, you know we couldn't have a Wfxr Sports Fastlane show with our Wfxr Sports racing insider, J.W. Martin. Now, yesterday I caught up with J.W. to talk about tonight's race. All right, J.W., it's finally here, the first opportunity for a NASCAR night race at the Paperclip Martinsville Speedway. Just your overall thoughts about this.
Sure, you know, it's the first night race at Martinsville Speedway, but it will not be the first race at Martinsville Speedway to finish under the lights. And I think you look back over the last 3 fall races at Martinsville, all of those races finished under the lights, and I think it gives us a glimpse of what we can expect tonight. 2 out of the last 3 races, epic, memorable, among the best in the track's history. The 2017 and 2018 night races both featured finishes just over 1/10 of a second, with the leaders banging fenders coming to the line. You know, looking back over the last few years, I believe the fall races have eclipsed the spring races in terms of excitement, and I think those lights will make this spring race extra exciting tonight.
It'll be neat to see the sparks. You know, that's what I love about the night. You see those sparks. So really the biggest thing, I guess I got to ask you, JW, no practice. How is that going to impact? And obviously with what's going to happen, I mean, no practice, how impactful is that? And then the qualifying format.
Sure, you know, perhaps a foreshadowing statistic. In the last 10 races, the winner has started in the top 15. Now first, that suggests and really underscores just how important track position is at Martinsville. But moreover, to your point, no practice, no qualifying. I think that makes this statistic even more significant. When you look at how qualifying works right now in the Cup Series, if you're in the top 12, you have a distinct advantage over the field. Top 12 in points get to draw for positions 1 through 12. Positions 13th through 14th are determined by 13th and through 24th in the standings, and so on and so forth. So it's a distinct advantage to those drivers that are starting in the top 12. I think that top 15 trend is likely to continue, and I'll take it one step further. I believe the winner of tonight's race will come from one of those top 12 starting positions.
Well, you talk about winners, and we want winners. We love winners around these parts. Give me your favorite, give me your dark horse, and then someone that's maybe might fly under the radar, which I guess would be a dark horse.
Sure, sure. You know, Denny Hamlin's the obvious choice. He'll be a favorite, and he'll be quite popular tonight. But I contend that Brad Keselowski is the better bet. Now, this may sound surprising, but in the last 4 races, Keselowski actually has a better record than Denny Hamlin. He's got a 4.8 average finish in his last 4 starts compared to a 5.8 average finish for Denny Hamlin. Moreover, Keselowski's got a win. Hamlin, no wins in his last 4 starts. And in fact, going back through the stats, Hamlin, although he has 5 career victories at Martinsville Speedway, he's been shut out of victory lane since 2015. That is hard to believe. The 2 crew, they've got the momentum. They've got 2 wins in their last 4 starts in the Cup Series. I like Brad Keselowski tonight. Now, as for a dark horse, let's go with his teammate Ryan Blaney. 2 top 5s in his last 2 starts, a 12.9 average finish in 8 career starts, and he's gelling with crew chief Todd Gordon. This team, they've impressed in recent races. He's on the pole tonight. I like Ryan Blaney as a very solid sleeper pick.
And then talk about, and this is, finally we kind of put a bow on this. Just what does this mean? Because the drivers, first of all, they want to win at Martinsville. They want that grandfather clock, but to add the night part to it, this has got to be a special moment for us. In fact, even in the state of Virginia, the first professional sporting event to take place since COVID-19.
Sure, absolutely. We've discussed it before in previous segments, just how important not only this race is for Martinsville Speedway, staying relevant amid COVID-19, but a Wednesday night race, I think, elevates the excitement to another level. I think many new eyes will be on the sport tonight. It's only the 2nd short track race thus far in 2020, and I really, really, really think that we will add another memorable race to a string of memorable races here in recent seasons after this one's over.
Well, JW, it's time to put the pedal to the metal, baby.
Let's go.
It is time for racing at Martinsville. JW, thank you so much again. We're going to have a WFXR Sports Fastlane on Thursday. We'll recap the race. That's coming up Thursday on WFXRTV.com.
There we go. Can't wait.
All right, again, thank you so much for JW. And also, don't forget, we will have a WFXR Sports Fastlane Thursday at 7:30 on WFXRTV.com. So the race is here, and we thank you for watching our show tonight. Thanks for watching again. Now, of course, we will have much more on the race coming up tonight on WFXR News first at 10. But up next, it is WFXR News at 6:30. I'm Jermaine Ferrell. Hope all of your teams are winners. Have a wonderful and blessed night, everybody, and enjoy the race.